Wealthy doctor shocked to see his 8-month pregnant ex-wife working as a waitress. Michael Roberts nearly choked on his wine when he saw who was serving the next table. His hand trembled so much that a few red drops stained the white tablecloth, but he didn't even notice. It was Jennifer. His Jennifer, or rather his ex-wife. 8 months pregnant, carrying a heavy tray with the beige waitress uniform stretched over her round belly. His heart raced as if he were having a heart attack. "Dr. Roberts, are you all right?" asked the pharmaceutical company representative sitting across from him. Michael couldn't answer. His eyes followed her every movement between the tables of the most expensive restaurant in New York City, the same restaurant where he used to take important clients to impress them. Jennifer balanced the plates with a skill born of necessity. Her brown hair was tied in a simple bun, and Michael noticed how she avoided looking in his direction. She had seen him. He was sure of it. "I need to use the restroom," Michael muttered, abruptly standing up. He walked toward her, but Jennifer turned her back and headed to the kitchen. The professional smile she maintained for other customers vanished the moment she saw him approaching. Michael stood frozen in the middle of the dining room, feeling ridiculous. 3 years. 3 years since he had signed the divorce papers and walked out without looking back. 3 years since he decided she no longer fit into his new life. "Sir, can I help you?" another waiter asked. No, thank you." Michael returned to the table but couldn't focus on the conversation about the new equipment for his clinic. His mind was miles away, trying to understand how Jennifer had ended up in this place. She who had 2 master's degrees, she who had taught at the university, she who had always been smarter than him, even if Michael had never admitted it out loud. The dinner dragged on like torture. Michael pretended to pay attention to the representative, but his eyes searched for Jennifer every second. She served other tables efficiently, always avoiding his. When he finally managed to intercept her in the hallway leading to the kitchen, Michael felt the words die in his throat. "Jennifer." She stopped but didn't turn around. He saw her shoulders tense. "What do you want, Michael?" Her voice was different, deeper, wearier. None of the joy he remembered from their married days. "I didn't know you were pregnant?" Jennifer turned, and Michael saw her dark eyes had lost their sparkle. "That's right. Life goes on after you disappear from it." "Whose is it?" The question slipped out before Michael could think. Jennifer laughed, but it wasn't a happy sound. "That's none of your business." "Jennifer, I don't understand. You worked at the university. Why are you here?" "Do you really want to know?" Her eyes flashed with old anger. "Because I lost my job after you told everyone I had mental health issues. Remember? When you wanted to keep everything in the divorce." Michael's stomach dropped. He remembered the lie he had told the lawyers, his colleagues, anyone who would listen. He had claimed Jennifer was unstable, that he couldn't let her keep half their assets because she wouldn't manage them properly. "Jennifer, You're in the way of my work," she cut in. "If the manager sees me talking to you, I could get fired." Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot, as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. As if summoned by thought, the manager appeared in the hallway, a woman in her 50s with an unfriendly expression. "Jennifer, what's this about chatting during work hours?" "I'm sorry, Mrs. Patterson. He was just asking about the menu." "Then answer quickly and get back to the tables. You know I can't tolerate this kind of behavior here." Michael saw the fear in Jennifer's eyes, a fear he had never seen before, not even in the worst moments of their marriage. "Of course, Mrs. Patterson. I'm going back now." The manager gave Michael a suspicious look before walking away. Jennifer took a deep breath and adjusted her apron. "Jennifer, wait." "No. You've already done enough damage in my life. Now let me work in peace." Michael stood alone in the hallway, feeling a weight in his chest he hadn't felt in years. He returned to his table, but the meal had completely lost its flavor. In the weeks that followed, Michael found himself making excuses to return to the restaurant. He always asked to sit in Jennifer's section, always tried to exchange a few words with her, but she treated him with the same professional coldness she reserved for any customer. "Doctor, you've been coming here a lot lately," remarked David, one of the other waiters. "Enjoying the food?" Yeah? The food's good, David laughed. Right, Jennifer's a good person, you know. Works harder than anyone here. Too bad she's going through a rough patch. What do you mean? Oh, you don't know. She's pregnant, and the father took off, said he didn't want responsibility, left her to handle everything alone. Michael felt a pang of something he couldn't define. Relief? Guilt? Anger? She shares a lot about her life with you. Not much, but we notice things. She always refuses when someone offers her food at the end of a shift. Says she's not hungry, but we can see she's losing weight even while pregnant. That's not normal, is it? Michael watched Jennifer more closely on his next visits. David was right. Despite her growing belly, she looked thinner. Her cheeks were hollow, and he noticed her hands trembled slightly when she carried heavy trays. It happened on a rainy Tuesday. Michael was finishing lunch when he saw Jennifer sway. She was carrying a tray with 6 plates when her legs gave out. Michael jumped from his chair before he could think. He caught her just in time, keeping her from falling. The tray shattered, scattering food and broken dishes everywhere. Jennifer, listen to me. She was conscious but pale as paper. Michael carried her to a chair, ignoring the curious stares of other customers. I'm fine, she murmured. I just stood up too fast. You're not fine at all. Michael pressed a hand to her forehead. You're feverish and too thin. When was your last checkup? Michael, please. Mrs. Patterson, the manager shouted as she saw the commotion. What's this nonsense? She fainted. Michael stood. She needs medical attention. Fainted? The manager seemed more concerned about the mess than Jennifer. This can't happen in front of customers. She's 8 months pregnant and fainted. This is a medical emergency. Doctor, I'm fine. Jennifer tried to stand. It was just a dizzy spell. You're not fine. Michael held her steady. I'm a doctor and I'm telling you, you need to go to the hospital now. The manager huffed. If she leaves now, don't bother coming back tomorrow. I can't have staff fainting during shifts. Michael felt anger rise, anger he hadn't felt in years. You're firing a pregnant woman because she got sick? I'm firing an employee who can't do her job. No, Jennifer stood, still unsteady. Mrs. Patterson, please. I need this job. It won't happen again, I promise. Jennifer, you're not well. Come with me to the hospital, Michael said, grabbing her arm. I can't lose this job. She pulled away. Don't you get it? I have nothing left. Her words echoed through the restaurant. Some customers stopped eating to watch. Jennifer realized she had shouted and covered her face with her hands. I'm sorry, she whispered. I'm sorry. Michael glanced at the manager, who stood with her arms crossed, looking displeased. Then he looked at Jennifer, trembling with fear and exhaustion. He made a decision. How much does she make here a month? What? The manager blinked. How much do you pay her? That's none of your business. $2,500, Jennifer answered quietly. Plus tips. Michael took out his wallet and counted 10 $200 bills. Here's her salary for the next few months. Now she's coming with me to the hospital. Michael, no. Jennifer stepped back. I don't want your charity. It's not charity, it's a loan. You'll pay me back when you're better. I said I don't want it. Her voice rose again, and Michael saw tears in her eyes, tears of anger, frustration, wounded pride. Jennifer, you can't just show up after 3 years and fix everything with money, she cried. You destroyed me, took everything from me, and now you want to play the hero? The entire restaurant was watching now. Michael felt heat rise up his neck, unsure if it was shame or anger. I just want to help. You want to help? Jennifer wiped her tears with the back of her hand. Then get out of my life and leave me alone. She ran toward the staff restroom. Michael stood frozen, still holding the money, feeling like the biggest fool in the world. The manager cleared her throat. Well, this has gotten awkward for everyone. I think it's best if you leave. Michael put the money away and walked out without another word. But he couldn't shake the image of Jennifer from his mind, her paleness, the tremor in her hands, the fear in her eyes when the manager had threatened to fire her. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. He paced around the penthouse he'd bought after the divorce, trying not to think about Jennifer sleeping who knows where, worried about the job she'd almost lost because of him. The next day, he returned to the restaurant. Jennifer was there, serving tables as if nothing had happened, but Michael noticed she avoided carrying heavy trays and leaned on chairs whenever she could. He asked for a table in her section, and she came to take his order with a cold expression. "What do you want here?" "Just here for lunch." "Michael, please, don't make things harder than they already are." "Are you okay?" "I'm fine." But she wasn't. Michael could tell by the way she breathed, the way she held her stomach when she thought no one was looking. "Jennifer, you need tests. A pregnant woman doesn't faint for no reason." "I had tests last month. Everything's fine." "What tests?" She hesitated before answering. "The basics. Blood pressure, blood work." "When was your last ultrasound?" "Michael, I'm not discussing my pregnancy with you in the middle of my shift." "Then talk to me after work." "No." "Jennifer." "No," she said louder than intended, drawing glances from nearby customers. "Sorry," she murmured. "Do you want the daily special?" Michael sighed and placed his order. But throughout lunch he watched Jennifer work. She moved slower than the other servers, and he saw her lean against the wall twice, as if dizzy. When he went to pay, Michael left an overly generous tip. Jennifer looked at the money and shook her head. "I can't take this. It's a tip. Accepting them is part of your job." "Not this much." "Then consider it payment for the medical advice you don't want to hear." Jennifer stared at him for a long moment. "Why are you doing this?" "Because..." Michael searched for the right words. "Because you don't deserve to be going through this. You should have thought of that before you walked out on me." "I know." The simple answer seemed to disarm her slightly. "Michael, I don't want your pity." "It's not pity, it's guilt and responsibility. You have no responsibility over me or this child." "I know, but I do for what I did to you." Jennifer fell silent for a moment, looking at him with an expression Michael couldn't decipher. "What you did to me can't be fixed, Michael. Some mistakes are too big to forgive." "I know that too." "Then why do you keep coming here?" Michael didn't know how to answer. He didn't even fully understand why he couldn't stay away. Maybe it was guilt, maybe remorse, or maybe something he didn't want to admit, even to himself. "I don't know," he finally said. Jennifer shook her head and tucked the money into her apron pocket. Just don't make things harder for me, okay? I need this job." Michael nodded and left the restaurant, but he came back the next day. And the next. And the next. Jennifer stopped protesting, but also stopped speaking to him beyond what was strictly necessary. She'd jot down his order, serve the food and take his payment without exchanging more than a few words. It was on the Thursday of the second week that Michael noticed the difference. Jennifer was even paler, and her hands trembled so much she nearly dropped the plate on his table. "Jennifer, you need to sit down for a minute." "I'm fine." "You're not. Your lips are blue." "Michael, please, you're anemic. I'd bet anything." "And if I am?" "It's nothing I can't handle." "How? By taking iron? Are you eating properly?" Jennifer didn't answer, and Michael had his reply. "How much do you make in tips a day?" "Why? How much?" "Depends on the day. Around $40, $50. "And how much do you spend on food?" "Michael, how much?" "That's none of your business. You're not eating, Jennifer. That's why you're anemic. That's why you're fainting." "I do eat." "What? One sandwich a day? A slice of bread with margarine?" Jennifer looked away, and Michael knew he'd hit the mark. "My God, Jennifer, you're 8 months pregnant and starving yourself." "I'm not starving myself. I'm just saving up for when the baby comes." "Saving up?" Michael nearly shouted. "You're risking your life and your child's to save a few dollars?" "A few dollars?" Now it was her turn to raise her voice. "You think a few dollars don't make a difference to me? You think I have a choice?" Other customers began staring again. Jennifer noticed and lowered her voice. "You have no idea how I live, Michael. No idea what it's like to count every penny, to choose between buying food or paying rent." "Then tell me. Explain it to me." Why? So you can feel better, ease your guilt, so I can understand, so I know how to help. I've told you I don't want your help, and I've told you you don't have a choice. Michael lost his patience. You're risking 2 lives out of pride. Pride? Jennifer laughed, but it was a bitter sound. You think this is pride? This is survival, Michael. This is trying to hold onto a shred of dignity after you took everything from me. Jennifer, you want to know how I live? She leaned over the table, and Michael saw her eyes were red with exhaustion. I live in a 6x10 room in a boarding house. The walls leak and the ceiling's covered in mold. I share a bathroom with 6 other people. I work 12-hour days because I need every dollar in tips. And yet I still owe 3 months' rent. Michael felt his stomach sink. Why didn't you come to me? Why didn't you ask for help? For what? So you could humiliate me again? So you could throw it in my face that I can't make it on my own? Jennifer, I never... You never what? Never humiliated me? Never told everyone I was crazy? Never made up lies about me to take everything in the divorce? Each word was like a slap in the face. Michael wanted to defend himself, to explain, but he knew Jennifer was right. He had done all that and worse. I was wrong, he said quietly. Being wrong doesn't undo what you did. I know, but let me try to fix at least a little of it. There's no fixing this, Michael. My career is over. My reputation is over. You made sure of that. Your career isn't over. You can still teach. Where? She laughed bitterly. Who's going to hire the teacher whose ex-husband the doctor said was insane? You think people forgot, that they didn't talk? Michael had no answer. He knew Jennifer was right. New York City was a big place, but the academic world was small. Everyone knew each other, everyone talked. Jennifer, Mrs. Patterson is coming, she cut him off. I can't keep talking to you. The manager approached with a stern look. Jennifer, Table 6 has been waiting for their check for 5 minutes. I'm coming, Mrs. Patterson. No, you're not. You're going home. What? You're visibly sick. I can't have a sick employee serving food to customers. Mrs. Patterson, please. I'm fine. It was just a little dizziness. Jennifer, you're pale as a ghost and shaking. Go home and don't come back until you're better. But no buts. And don't expect pay for the days you miss. Michael saw the desperation in Jennifer's eyes. Mrs. Patterson, she's pregnant. It's normal to feel unwell. And who are you to give your opinion? The manager glared at him. I'm a doctor, and I'm telling you she just needs some rest. If she were fine, she wouldn't be shaking like this. Jennifer, grab your things and go. Jennifer looked at Michael with a mix of anger and despair. See what you've done? Now I've lost my job. You didn't lose your job. You just need to rest. Michael, I can't rest. I need to work. I need every day's pay. Then let me help. No, she shouted again, drawing the attention of the entire restaurant. I don't want anything from you. Haven't you done enough? Jennifer ran off toward the staff room. Michael stood there, feeling every customer's eyes on him. The manager shook her head. You know what, doctor? I think it's best if you don't come back here. You're causing too much trouble for my employee. I just want to help. Then help by staying away. Michael left the restaurant feeling worse than ever. He'd managed to make Jennifer lose her job exactly when she needed it most. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us a lot as we're just starting out. Now continuing, Michael spent the rest of the day trying to find out where Jennifer lived. It wasn't hard. With her last name and a few contacts, he got the address of the boarding house. The place was even worse than Jennifer had described, an old building downtown, with peeling paint and a musty smell creeping up the stairs. Michael went up to the 3rd floor and knocked on room 307. Jennifer, it's me, Michael. Go away. Her voice was muffled behind the door. Jennifer, please, I need to talk to you. I have nothing to say to you. I talked to the restaurant manager. You didn't lose your job. You can go back on Monday. Silence came from the other side of the door. Then Michael heard footsteps, and Jennifer opened the door, just a crack. Is it true? Yes. I explained that you were just feeling unwell because of the pregnancy, that it's normal. Jennifer opened the door a little wider, and Michael felt like crying when he saw her room. It was truly tiny, with just a single bed, a small wardrobe, and a little desk. The walls had damp stains, and Michael could see mold on the ceiling. "How did you get my address?" "Does it matter?" "Michael, you can't just show up in my life like this. You can't solve my problems with your influence." "Why not, if I can help?" "Because I don't want to owe you anything." She raised her voice again, but this time Michael saw it was more sadness than anger. "Don't you understand? I can't depend on you again. Jennifer, you abandoned me, Michael. At the worst moment of my life, you just decided I wasn't good enough and left me. How can I trust you now?" Michael stayed silent. She was right. How could he expect her to trust him after everything he'd done? "I don't expect you to trust me," he finally said. I just want you and the baby to be okay." "Why? Why do you suddenly care?" "Because—" Michael searched for the right words. "Because I hate myself for what I did to you. And because seeing you like this makes me realize the kind of person I've become." Jennifer stared at him for a long moment. "That doesn't change anything, Michael." "I know. But let me at least try to do something right." "Like what?" "Like, I don't know, like paying for a private doctor so you can get proper checkups. Like buying food so you don't go hungry. Like—" "Michael, stop. Like finding you a better place to live. This place is a dump." "Michael, stop," she shouted, and Michael saw tears in her eyes. "You don't get it. I can't accept anything from you." "Why?" "Because—" She wiped her tears with the back of her hand. "Because if I do, I'll start depending on you again. And then, when you decide I'm not good enough anymore, I'll be in an even worse situation. Jennifer, I won't abandon you again." "How can you promise that? How can I believe you?" Michael had no answer to that question. He didn't even know if he could make that promise. "I can't guarantee it," he said honestly, "but I can try." "Trying isn't enough, Michael, not when a child is involved. What if I sign a contract saying I'll support you financially until the baby turns 18? "A contract?" Jennifer laughed, but it was a humorless laugh. "Michael, are you a lawyer as well as a doctor? Contracts can be broken." "Then what do you want me to do? Want me to leave and let you starve in this awful place?" "I won't starve. I was managing fine before you showed up." "Jennifer, you fainted from weakness. That's not managing fine. It was just a dizzy spell. It happens to pregnant women." "It doesn't. Not when you're eating properly." They stared at each other, both breathing heavily. Michael saw Jennifer trembling, but didn't know if it was from anger or exhaustion. "Jennifer, please, at least let me pay for a doctor for you, just to make sure the baby is okay." "Michael, you can hate me. You can never forgive me. But don't let our problems hurt the child." Jennifer lowered her head and stayed silent for a long time. "Fine," she finally said, "but just the doctor, and I'll pay you back." "Jennifer." "I'll pay you back, Michael. Write it all down if you want, but I'll pay." Michael agreed, even though he knew she'd probably never be able to. At least it was a start. The next day, Michael called his gynecologist and scheduled an appointment for Jennifer. When he went to pick her up at the boarding house, he got a shock. She was even thinner, with dark circles under her eyes. "Did you sleep?" "Yes, I did." "Jennifer, your dark circles go all the way to your chin." "Michael, did you book the appointment or not?" Dr. Richard Thompson's office was in one of the most upscale neighborhoods of New York City. Michael saw Jennifer look around uncomfortably as they entered the building. "Relax," he whispered. "Richard is a good guy. You'll like him." "I don't need to like him. I just need to get the tests done." The appointment lasted nearly 2 hours. Michael waited in the lobby, as nervous as if he were the one being examined. When Jennifer finally came out, her expression was closed off. "So?" Michael stood up. "The doctor wants to talk to you." "With me? Why?" "Go in there and ask him." Michael entered the office and found Dr. Richard looking worried. "Michael, have a seat." "Richard, what's wrong? Is there a problem with the baby?" "The baby is fine. The problem is with her." "What do you mean?" "Michael, this woman is malnourished, severely malnourished. She's anemic, deficient in several vitamins, and what worries me most is that she's losing weight despite being pregnant. But the baby is okay? The baby is developing normally because it's taking everything from her reserves, but if she continues like this, she could have serious complications during delivery. Michael felt the world spin. What kind of complications? Hemorrhaging, low blood pressure, trouble healing. Michael, she needs constant medical care, and she needs proper nutrition, urgently. I tried to help, but she won't accept it. Then you need to insist, or convince someone from her family to insist. Her family lives in another state, and they haven't spoken to me since the divorce. Dr. Richard sighed. Michael, I don't know what's going on between you two, but this woman needs help. If she doesn't improve her diet in the next 2 weeks, I'll have to admit her. Admit her? For forced feeding. It's a last resort, but it might be necessary. Michael left the office feeling awful. Jennifer was waiting in the reception area, nervously fidgeting with her purse. What did the doctor say? She asked as soon as she saw him. He said you need to eat better. That's it. Michael hesitated. Should he tell her about the possibility of hospitalization, about the risks the doctor had mentioned? Jennifer, you're too thin. The doctor was worried. But the baby is fine? Yes, but you're not. Jennifer stayed silent the whole way back to the boarding house. When Michael parked in front of the building, she turned to him. Thanks for the appointment. I'll pay you back as soon as I can. Jennifer, wait. What? The doctor prescribed vitamins and a specific diet. Okay, I'll try to follow it. Trying isn't enough. You need to follow it. Michael, I do what I can with what I have. Then let me help you have more. No. Jennifer. I said no, Michael. Thanks for the appointment, but I can handle things on my own from here. She got out of the car before he could respond. He sat there, watching her climb the stairs to the building, feeling completely helpless. That night, Michael couldn't sleep. He kept thinking about Dr. Richard's words, about the possibility of Jennifer having complications during delivery, about her stubbornness in refusing help. The next day, he went back to the restaurant. Jennifer was there, working as if nothing had happened, but Michael noticed she moved even slower and seemed to be making a tremendous effort to keep her composure. When she came to take his order, he saw her hands shaking. How are you feeling? Fine. Jennifer, you're lying. Michael, please, not at work. Did you take the vitamins the doctor prescribed? Yes. And the diet? Jennifer hesitated for a second before answering. I'm trying to keep up. What did you eat today? Michael, what did you eat? A sugar bun this morning. Just that? It's past noon already. I'll have lunch now on my break. What are you going to eat? There's a diner nearby that sells cheap daily specials. How much is it? $15. Michael pulled a $50 bill from his pocket. Here, get yourself a decent meal. Michael, I can't. Yes, you can. It's for the baby's sake. I don't want your money. Jennifer, for heaven's sake, it's a plate of food, not a mansion. A few customers glanced in their direction. Jennifer flushed and lowered her voice. Michael, you're embarrassing me. I'm trying to keep you from passing out again. I won't pass out. How can you be sure? Because I can't afford to pass out. Her answer broke Michael's heart. He saw the steely determination in her eyes, the same determination that had drawn him to her when they met in college. But now that determination was just about survival. Jennifer, take the money, please. She looked at the bill in his hand, and Michael saw the internal struggle she was fighting. Pride versus need. Dignity versus hunger. Fine, she finally said, but I'll pay you back. You don't have to. I will pay you back, Michael. Write it down, $50. Michael handed her the money and watched as Jennifer tucked it into her apron pocket like it was something precious. Jennifer? What? Eat well, okay? She nodded and walked away to tend to other tables. Michael ordered the daily special but barely touched his food. He watched Jennifer work, noticing how she leaned on chairs, how she paused to catch her breath between tables. When she went on her break, Michael discreetly followed. He saw her enter the diner across the street and sit at a table in the back. Through the window, he watched her order a daily special and eat slowly, savoring every bite. For the first time in weeks, Michael felt a flicker of relief. At least, she was having a decent meal. When Jennifer returned from her break, she looked a little better. Her cheeks had a bit more color, and she wasn't leaning on chairs as much. Michael finished his lunch and went to pay the bill. He left a generous tip again, and this time Jennifer didn't protest. "Thank you," she said simply. "You're welcome." "Michael? Yeah? Why are you doing this?" The question caught him off guard. Michael hesitated, unsure how to answer. Because it's the right thing to do. That's all." "No," he admitted honestly. "Because I hate myself for what I did to you. And because I still care about you." Jennifer stared at him for a long moment. "Michael, this changes nothing between us." "I know. Even if you help me now, it doesn't erase what you did. I know that too. Then why do you keep trying?" "Because," Michael searched for the right words, "because even if you never forgive me, I need to try to do something right. I need to try to be the person I should have been from the start." Jennifer was silent for a moment. "Michael, you hurt me. Really bad. And I don't know if I'll ever be able to forgive you. I understand. But," she hesitated, "but I appreciate you trying to help now, even if it's just out of guilt." "It's not just guilt, Jennifer." "No? No. It's because you've always mattered to me, even when I was too stupid to see it." Jennifer looked down. "Michael, don't say things like that." "Why?" Because it hurts." "Jennifer, I need to get back to work." She cut him off. "Mrs. Patterson is watching." Michael nodded and left the restaurant, but her words kept echoing in his head. Because it hurts. Perhaps there was a chance, however small, that he could at least regain her friendship. In the following days, Michael continued visiting the restaurant. He always left money for Jennifer to buy decent food, and always asked how she was feeling. Gradually, she stopped protesting so much. One afternoon, Michael arrived at the restaurant and didn't see Jennifer. He asked David where she was. "Oh, she didn't come today. Said she wasn't feeling well." Michael felt the alarm go off in his head. "Not feeling well how?" "I don't know. She called this morning saying she couldn't come." Michael rushed out of the restaurant and went straight to the boarding house. He took the 3 flights of stairs, 2 at a time, and knocked on Jennifer's door. "Jennifer, it's me, Michael." There was no answer. "Jennifer, open the door." "Michael?" Her voice came weakly from the other side. "Yes, it's me. Open the door. I can't." "Open the..." "I'm not feeling well." Panic gripped him. "Jennifer, open this door right now or I'll break it down." After a few seconds, he heard the lock turn. Jennifer appeared at the door, pale as paper, and leaning against the frame. "My God, Jennifer!" Michael caught her before she could fall. "What happened?" "I think it's just weakness. I've been dizzy since I woke up." He carried her to the bed and placed a hand on her forehead. It was cold and clammy. "Jennifer, did you eat anything today?" "I tried, Dees, but I couldn't swallow." "What do you mean?" "Every time I tried to eat, I felt like throwing up." Michael grabbed his phone. "I'm calling an ambulance." "No." Jennifer grabbed his arm. "Michael, please, I can't afford a hospital." "Jennifer, you could have a serious complication." "Michael, I don't have money for a hospital. If they admit me, I'll owe a fortune." "I'll pay." "No, I already owe you too much." "Jennifer, this isn't the time to argue about money. You could have eclampsia or something else serious." "Michael, please, just take me to a clinic. Clinics aren't equipped for obstetric complications." "Then take me to Mrs. Wilson's house." "Who's Mrs. Wilson?" "The midwife in the neighborhood. She's helped many pregnant women." "Jennifer, a midwife isn't a doctor if you have something serious." "Michael, I don't have a choice. I can't afford a hospital. I already said I'll pay, and I already said I don't want to owe you anything else." He looked at her, seeing the stubbornness mixed with fear in her eyes. She was clearly unwell, but her determination to refuse help was stronger than common sense. "Fine," he finally said. "But if the midwife says you need to go to the hospital, you go, no arguments." "Fine." Michael helped Jennifer get dressed, and they went down to the car. On the way to the midwife's house, he kept watching her in the rearview mirror. Jennifer leaned back in the seat with her eyes closed, one hand on her belly and the other on her forehead. Mrs. Wilson was a woman in her 60s, with graying hair and calloused hands. She examined Jennifer while Michael stood nervously in the corner of the small room. "Well?" he asked when Mrs. Wilson finished. "The girl has low blood pressure and severe malnutrition. The baby is fine, but she needs care." "What kind of care?" "Complete rest, proper food, and medical supervision." "Mrs. Wilson," Jennifer sat up in bed, "I can't rest. I need to work." "Young lady, if you don't stop now, you could have serious complications. Then it won't matter if you want to work. But I can't support myself without working." "Do you have the baby's father to help?" Michael and Jennifer exchanged glances. The question hung in the air for a few seconds before Jennifer answered, "The situation is complicated." Mrs. Wilson looked from one to the other and seemed to understand something. "Listen, dear, I don't know what's going on between you two, but this baby needs you to take care of yourself. Whatever problem you have, sort it out after the baby is born." Michael felt it was time to speak. "Mrs. Wilson, I can cover her expenses. The problem is she won't accept my help." "Why?" the midwife asked Jennifer directly. "Because..." Jennifer struggled to find the words. "Because he hurt me deeply, and I can't depend on him again." "Dear," Mrs. Wilson sat on the edge of the bed, "I've helped deliver over 200 babies. I've seen every kind of situation. And I can tell you one thing. A child doesn't understand wounded pride. A child just wants to be born healthy." "I know, but..." "No buts. You can work things out with him later. Right now your duty is to that baby inside you." Jennifer began to cry softly. "Mrs. Wilson, you don't understand. He abandoned me. He destroyed me. How can I accept his help now? Dear, I don't understand your problems, but I understand children, and this child needs you to make peace with your pride. It's not pride, it's fear." "Fear of what?" "Fear of him abandoning me again, especially now that I'm pregnant with another man's child." Michael felt as if he'd been punched in the gut. Even after everything that had happened, even knowing the baby wasn't his, hearing Jennifer say it still hurt. "Jennifer," he said quietly, "I won't abandon you again." "How can you promise that?" Because I've learned that you're the best thing that ever happened to me, and I was too stupid to see it before." "Michael." "Jennifer, I know you don't love me anymore. I know you may never forgive me. But let me at least take care of you until the baby is born. After that, if you want me out of your life, I'll go." Mrs. Wilson looked from one to the other. "Listen, I'll let you two talk. But dear, remember what I said. A child doesn't understand wounded pride." The midwife left the room, leaving Michael and Jennifer alone. They sat in silence for a while, each lost in thought. "Michael," Jennifer finally said, "if I accept your help, there have to be conditions." "What conditions?" "First, it's a loan. I'll pay everything back." "Jennifer, it's a loan, Michael, not charity." "Okay. Second, you can't use this to try to win me back." "Jennifer, I'm serious. You can help me as a friend, but nothing more." Michael felt a pang of sadness, but agreed. "Okay. And the third condition? When the baby is born, if I ask you to leave my life, you go. No drama, no begging." "Jennifer, it's that or nothing, Michael." Michael was silent for a moment. The thought of leaving her life again was terrible, but the thought of her going through this alone was worse. "Okay," he finally said. "Are you sure?" "I am," Jennifer sighed. "Then fine. I'll accept your help. But only until the baby is born." Michael felt immense relief. "Thank you, Jennifer." "Don't thank me. I'm not doing this for you. I'm doing it for the baby." "I know." Mrs. Wilson returned to the room a few minutes later. "Well, did you sort it out?" "We did," Jennifer answered. "He'll help me until the baby is born." "Good. Now, dear, you need rest. At least 2 weeks without working." 2 weeks? Jennifer was alarmed. Mrs. Wilson, I can't afford to stop working that long. Yes, you can. This young man here will cover your expenses, won't you? Of course, Michael replied immediately. And you need to eat properly. No skipping meals. 3 meals a day, plus snacks in between. Okay. And you can't stay in that awful room at the boarding house. Dampness is bad for pregnant women. Michael looked at Jennifer. You can stay in the guest apartment at my clinic. It's just temporary until we find a better place. Michael, I can't. Jennifer, you just agreed to accept my help. But staying at your place, it's not my home. It's the clinic's apartment. It has a separate entrance, a kitchen, everything. Jennifer hesitated. Just temporary. Only until you find a decent place to live. And you won't keep bothering me? I won't even show up there if you don't want me to. Jennifer looked at Mrs. Wilson, who nodded encouragingly. All right, she finally said, but only temporary. Michael felt the urge to smile but held back. It was just a first step, but it was something. Mrs. Wilson, any other recommendations? Yes, she needs to see the doctor again next week, and if there's any bleeding, severe pain or discomfort, she must go straight to the hospital. Got it. Michael helped Jennifer gather her things from the boarding house. She didn't have much, some clothes, a few books, and an old photo of her parents. That's it? Michael asked as she closed the small suitcase. That's it. Michael glanced around the miserable room, his chest tightening. How had he let Jennifer get to this point? How could he have abandoned the woman he loved to live in a place like this? Jennifer. No, Michael, don't say anything. Let's just leave. The clinic's apartment was simple but clean and comfortable. It had a bedroom with a double bed, a small living room, a kitchen, and a bathroom. For someone who had been living in a tiny room with a shared bathroom, it must have felt like a palace. Here we are, Michael said, opening the door. Jennifer stepped inside slowly, taking everything in. Her eyes filled with tears. Michael, it's perfect. Just temporary, he reminded her. I know, but thank you. Michael placed her suitcase in the bedroom and turned to leave. Michael? Yeah? Where will you stay? At my place. Don't worry. But you won't disappear, right? I mean, if I need something, I'll leave my number on the kitchen table. Anything, anytime you call me. Jennifer nodded. Michael? Yeah? Thank you, really. You're welcome, Jennifer. Michael left the apartment with a mix of relief and sadness. Relief because Jennifer was finally in a safe, comfortable place. Sadness because she had made it clear that this help had an expiration date. But for now, she was okay. And the baby was okay. That was what mattered. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us who are just starting out. Now, continuing. In the following days, Michael tried to keep his distance as promised, but he couldn't stop thinking about Jennifer. How was she feeling? Was she eating properly? Did she need anything? On the third day, he couldn't take it anymore and stopped by the clinic under the excuse of picking up some documents. The apartment was quiet, and he feared Jennifer might have left. He knocked lightly. Jennifer, it's Michael. Come in. Her voice came from the bedroom. Michael entered and found Jennifer lying on the bed, reading a book. She had more color in her face and looked rested. How are you? Better. Much better. Good. Eating well? Yes, 3 meals a day, just like Mrs. Wilson said. And how are you feeling? Michael, you don't have to come here every day to ask how I am. I didn't come every day, just today. Yesterday you left fruit in the kitchen, the day before vitamins, and now you're here again. Michael was embarrassed. Jennifer had noticed his discreet visits. I just wanted to make sure you were okay. I am okay. Rested, fed, comfortable. You can stop worrying. Jennifer, you're 8 months pregnant. I won't stop worrying. Why? She closed the book and stared at him. Why do you care so much now? I've always cared. No, Michael. You never cared. If you had, you wouldn't have abandoned me. Jennifer, I was wrong, completely wrong. And what changed? What made you realize you were wrong? Michael stayed silent for a moment, searching for the right words. Seeing you at that restaurant, seeing you pregnant, working as a waitress, living in that awful place, it made me realize what I'd lost and what I'd done to you. So you only realized because you saw me in a bad situation? No. I mean, Michael sighed. Jennifer, I missed you from the first day after the divorce, but I was too proud, too convinced I'd done the right thing to admit it. And now you're not proud anymore. Now I know I was an idiot, that I lost the best thing in my life out of pure stupidity. Jennifer stayed silent for a long moment. Michael, you hurt me deeply. It wasn't just the abandonment. It was the lies you spread about me. It was how you treated me during the divorce. I know, and I hate myself for it. Hating yourself doesn't fix anything. I know that too, but I don't know what else to do besides try to fix what I can. Some things can't be fixed, Michael. Like what? Like trust, like love, like the family we could have had together. The last line hit Michael like a punch. The family they could have had, the children they could have had, a life they could have built. Jennifer, there's still time. No, Michael, there isn't. I'm pregnant with another man's child. My life has taken a different path. And do you love him? The baby's father? Jennifer looked away. That doesn't matter. It does. Do you love him? Michael, please, don't make this harder. Just answer. Do you love him? No, she said softly. I don't love him. Then why? Because I wanted a child. Because after you left, I realized I was getting older and might never have another chance to be a mother. But you could have waited. You could have found someone who truly loved me? Jennifer laughed bitterly. Michael, you destroyed my reputation, told everyone I was crazy. Who'd want to get involved with me after that? Michael felt the full weight of his guilt. Jennifer, I can fix that. I can talk to people, explain that I lied. And you think that'll solve it? That people will just forget 3 years of rumors? At least it's a start. Michael, stop. You can't fix the past. What's done is done. But I can try to make the future better. For who? For you to feel less guilty? For you to be happy. Michael, you can't give me happiness. No one can give happiness to someone else. We have to find it within ourselves. And have you found it? Jennifer hesitated. I'm trying. With this baby? With this baby. With this new life I'm building. A life that doesn't include the baby's father? The baby's father? Jennifer paused. It's complicated. How is it complicated? Michael, I'd rather not talk about it. Jennifer, you can trust me. Trust you? She laughed, but it was a sad laugh. Michael, you lied about me to everyone. How can I trust you? Because I've changed. Because I've learned. People don't change like that, Michael. Not overnight. It wasn't overnight. It was 3 years of remorse. 3 years hating myself for what I did to you. And you think remorse is enough? No. But it's a start. Jennifer sighed and leaned back against the pillows. Michael, I'm tired. Tired of fighting. Tired of reliving the past. You want to help me? Then just help me, plain and simple. But stop trying to fix things that can't be fixed. Okay, Michael agreed, though he wasn't satisfied with her answer. But if you need to talk about anything, about the baby's father or anything else, I'm here. Thank you. Michael stood up to leave. Michael? Yes? Can you stay a little longer? Just for company. I get so lonely here. Michael felt his heart warm. Of course. He sat in the chair beside the bed, and they talked about simple things, books, movies, the news. Slowly, Jennifer relaxed, and Michael caught glimpses of the woman he had once loved, her intelligence, her sense of humor, the way she saw the world. Michael, she said as he was preparing to leave. Yes? Thank you for staying. It was nice to have company. Any time. Can I come back tomorrow? Yes. Michael left the apartment feeling lighter than he had in weeks. Maybe there was hope. Maybe with time and patience, he could at least regain her friendship. In the days that followed, Michael settled into a routine. He stopped by the clinic in the late afternoon after work and spent an hour or two talking with Jennifer. They avoided the past and focused on the present. Michael discovered Jennifer had been reading about child development and educational psychology. She was preparing for motherhood, studying, learning. "You're going to be an amazing mother," he said one evening. "I hope so. I'm afraid I won't know what to do." No one does when they become a parent for the first time. It's normal to be scared. "Have you ever thought about having kids?" The question caught Michael off guard. "Yes. When we were married, I thought about it sometimes." "Why did we never talk about it?" "Because," he searched for the right words, "because I always thought we had time, that we could think about it later. And now? Now I know time passes faster than we think, and some chances don't come back." Jennifer was quiet for a moment. "Michael, have you ever thought maybe this is for the best? That maybe we wouldn't have worked as a family?" "No, I think we would have, if I hadn't been such an idiot." "Michael, Jennifer, I know you don't want to hear this, but I need to say it. I still love you." "Michael, don't. I know you don't love me anymore. I know you'll probably never forgive me, but I need you to know I never stopped loving you." "Michael, stop. This isn't going anywhere. I'm not expecting it to. I just want you to know." Jennifer got out of bed and walked to the window. "Michael, you can't say these things, not now." "Why?" Because it hurts." "Why does it hurt?" "Because part of me—" She stopped mid-sentence. "Part of you what?" "Nothing, forget it." "Jennifer, tell me." "Part of you what?" "Part of me still loves you," she whispered so softly Michael almost didn't hear. "Jennifer." "But it doesn't change anything." She turned to him, and Michael saw tears in her eyes. "Love isn't enough, Michael, not after everything that happened." "Why not?" "Because I don't trust you, because I'm afraid you'll leave me again, and because there's a child involved now. Jennifer, I swear I'll never leave you again. You swore loyalty when we got married too, and you left anyway." Michael had no answer. She was right. He'd broken promises before. Why should she believe him now? "Jennifer, I understand you don't trust me, but can't we at least try? Slowly, one step at a time." "Michael, I'm pregnant with another man's child." "I know, and it doesn't matter." "How can it not matter?" Because I love you. And if you give me a chance, I'll love this child too." Jennifer began to cry for real now. "Michael, you don't understand. It's not just the pregnancy, it's everything. It's the lack of trust. It's the fear. It's what? I don't know if I'm still the same person you fell in love with. These 3 years have changed me so much." "They've changed me too. For the better, I hope." "Michael?" "Jennifer, I'm not asking you to decide anything right now. I'm just asking for a chance to prove I've changed, that I'm trustworthy now. And if you're not, if you disappoint me again, then you send me away. And this time, I'll go far away and never bother you again." Jennifer stared at him for a long moment. "Michael, I can't go through that pain again. I can't. You won't have to, I promise. Your promises mean nothing to me." "Then let me prove it with actions." "Michael, just give me one chance, Jennifer. Just one." Jennifer wiped her tears and went back to bed. "Michael, I need to think. This is all so confusing for me." "I understand. Take all the time you need. And in the meantime, can we just be friends?" "We can be whatever you want." "Friends, then." Michael agreed, even though his heart wanted more. At least she hadn't said no. At least there was a chance. The following week, Michael took Jennifer to her appointment with Dr. Richard. The tests showed significant improvement in her condition. "Much better," the doctor said. "The anemia has improved, your blood pressure is normal, and the baby is developing perfectly." "What a relief," Jennifer sighed. "But you still need to take care of yourself. No excessive strain, balanced diet, plenty of rest." "Doctor," Michael asked, "when can she go back to work?" Work? Dr. Richard looked at Jennifer. What do you do? I'm a waitress. A waitress? The doctor seemed surprised. You can't go back to work as a waitress now, not at 8 months pregnant. But doctor, I need to work. Waitressing is too strenuous for a pregnant woman in your condition. Standing for hours carrying heavy trays, it could trigger premature labor. Jennifer looked at Michael in despair. But I need money for when the baby comes. Jennifer, Michael said softly, you don't need to worry about that right now. Michael, I can't depend on you forever. You won't have to, just until you recover from childbirth and find a more suitable job. What job? Who's going to hire me with a newborn? We'll figure that out later. Right now, what matters is you and the baby staying healthy. On the way back, Jennifer stayed silent, clearly worried. What are you thinking about? Michael asked. How I'm going to support myself after the baby is born. Jennifer, you don't need to worry about that now. Michael, I need a plan. I can't rely on your charity forever. It's not charity, and you can stay as long as you need. I can't. We agreed it was only until the baby comes. We can renegotiate the agreement. No, a deal is a deal. Michael sighed. Jennifer's stubbornness could be exasperating at times. Then we'll think of other options. You could tutor, work as an educational consultant. Michael, who's going to hire a woman who was fired from the university for mental issues? Jennifer, I can fix that. I can talk to people, explain that I lied. And you think that will help, that people will just forget 3 years of rumors? It's better than doing nothing. Michael, just drop it. I'll figure it out. How? I don't know yet, but I will. That night, Michael lay awake, thinking of a solution. Jennifer was right. As long as her reputation remained tarnished, it would be very difficult for her to find decent work, and he was the one responsible for tarnishing that reputation. The next day, Michael began making phone calls. He reached out to colleagues from the university where Jennifer had worked, to acquaintances in the educational field, to anyone who might have heard the rumors he had spread. The first call was to Professor William Johnson, who had been the department head where Jennifer worked. Michael, what a surprise. How are you? I'm fine, David. Actually, I'm calling about Jennifer. Jennifer? Wow. It's been a while since I've heard from her. How is she? She's, going through some problems, and I wanted to talk to you about something. Of course, what is it? Michael took a deep breath. David, do you remember the rumors about Jennifer back when we got divorced? About her having mental health issues? I do. It was a shame. She was an excellent teacher. Yeah. I need to tell you something. Those rumors, I was the one who spread them. And they were lies. There was silence on the other end of the line. What do you mean, Michael? I made up that story to get more assets in the divorce. I said she was unstable, that she couldn't manage money. All lies. Michael, are you serious? Completely serious, and now I'm trying to fix the damage I did. My God, Michael, do you know Jennifer lost her job because of this? I know, and I hate myself for doing that to her. Michael, this is very serious. Jennifer's career was destroyed by your lies. I know, David. That's why I'm calling. I want you to tell everyone I lied, that Jennifer never had mental health issues. Michael, do you realize this could hurt you too, your reputation? I don't care. Jennifer didn't deserve this. Michael made the same call to over 20 people. Some were shocked, others angry, and some refused to believe it. But they all promised to spread the truth. When Jennifer found out what Michael was doing, she was furious. Michael, how could you do this without consulting me? Jennifer, I needed to fix what I did. But now everyone will know you lied. Your reputation will be ruined. So what? My reputation isn't more important than yours. Michael, you're a doctor. You need your reputation. Jennifer, I can still be a doctor even if people know I lied about my ex-marriage. You can't keep teaching if people think you're crazy. Jennifer fell silent for a moment. Michael, why did you do this? Because it was the right thing to do. I should have done it 3 years ago. No. Why did you do it now? Michael looked at her and decided to be honest. Because I love you. And because I want you to have a chance to be happy, even if it's not with me. Jennifer started to cry. Michael, Jennifer, I'm not doing this to win you back. I'm doing it because it's right. What do you mean? If after your reputation is cleared, you want me out of your life, I'll go. No questions, no arguments. Michael, you don't have to do this. Yes, I do. I destroyed your life out of selfishness. Now I need to rebuild it out of love. Jennifer cried even harder. Michael, I don't know what to say. Don't say anything. Just let me try to make things right. What if it doesn't work? What if people don't believe you? It will work. People respect you, Jennifer. They always have. It was just my rumors that confused everyone. In the following days, Michael kept making calls, and gradually he began to see results. Professor William called to say he had spoken with other colleagues at the university, and they were all shocked to learn the truth. Michael, everyone is upset with you, but they're also relieved to know Jennifer is okay. And what about the possibility of her returning to work in the field? Well, with the truth out now, I don't see why not. She's always been an excellent professional. Michael shared the news with Jennifer, who received it with a mix of relief and apprehension. Michael, what if people don't forgive me for deceiving everyone? Jennifer, you didn't deceive anyone. I was the one who lied. But they might think I knew about the rumors and did nothing to clear them up. Then we'll explain that you tried to defend yourself, but no one believed you. Michael, Jennifer, stop looking for problems. Things are working out. I know, but it's hard to believe it could really turn out okay. Why? Because these past 3 years have been so tough. It feels too good to be true. Michael moved closer and took her hand. Jennifer, you deserve good things in your life. You deserve to be happy, Michael. And I'll do everything I can to make sure you are, even if it's not with me. Jennifer squeezed his hand. Thank you for everything. You're welcome. Michael? Yes? I need to tell you something. About the baby's father. Michael's stomach dropped. Ever since Jennifer mentioned she didn't love the child's father, he'd avoided thinking about it. But now it seemed she wanted to talk. You don't have to tell me if you don't want to. I do. Because it's important. Okay, I'm listening. Jennifer took a deep breath. Michael, there is no father. What do you mean? There's no father. Not the way you're thinking. Jennifer, I don't understand. Michael, I had artificial insemination. Michael was speechless for a moment. Artificial insemination? Yes, with an anonymous donor. But why? Because I wanted a child, and because after everything you did to me, I didn't trust men anymore. Michael felt like he'd been punched in the chest. Jennifer, I used my last savings for the procedure. That's why I was struggling so much financially. My God, Jennifer, why didn't you tell me sooner? Because I was ashamed. Ashamed for you to know I was so desperate to have a child that I did it alone. Jennifer, you have nothing to be ashamed of. I do. What kind of woman secretly gets artificial insemination? A brave one. A woman who knows what she wants. Michael, Jennifer, do you think this changes anything for me? It doesn't. Of course not. If anything, it makes me admire you even more. How? Because you had the courage to go after what you wanted, even alone, even without money, even facing judgment. Jennifer began to cry. Michael, I was so scared to tell you this. Why? Because I thought you'd judge me, that you'd think I was crazy. Jennifer. Michael sat beside her on the bed. I'll never judge you. Never again. How can you be sure? Because I've learned that judging people only brings pain, and I've already caused you enough pain. Jennifer leaned against his shoulder. Michael, I was so alone, so scared I had no one to share this with. Now you do. How? You have me, if you want, of course. Michael, would you really help raise a child that isn't yours? Jennifer, if you give me this chance, I'll love this child as if they were mine, because they're yours, and everything that's yours matters to me. Jennifer cried harder. Michael, I don't know if I deserve this. Of course you do. You deserve all the happiness in the world. And you? Don't you want children of your own? Jennifer, if I have you and this child, I'll have everything I've ever wanted. If you want more children later, we can think about it. If not, that's fine too. Michael, Jennifer, I just want to be with you. We'll figure out the rest together. They held each other for a long time. Michael could feel the baby moving in Jennifer's belly, and for the first time since they'd reunited, he felt like maybe everything could work out. Jennifer? Yes? Will you give us another chance? Just the two of us together. Jennifer pulled back slightly to look at him. Michael, I'm scared. I'm scared too, but I want to try. What if it doesn't work? Then at least we'll know we tried. Michael, there's so much we still need to figure out. Like what? Like where we'll live, how we'll handle the baby, whether you can really love a child that isn't yours. Jennifer, we'll take it one step at a time. The important thing is that we're together. Michael, Jennifer, I'm asking for a chance. Just one chance to prove I've changed. Jennifer was silent for a long moment. Okay, she finally said. Okay, what? Okay, I'll try, but slowly. No rushing. Michael felt overwhelming happiness wash over him. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you for giving me this chance. Don't let me down, Michael, please. Never again, I promise. Your promises, I know my promises don't mean anything to you yet, but let me prove it with actions. Okay. Michael kissed her forehead gently. I love you, Jennifer. I love you too, Michael, despite everything. We'll make it work this time. I hope so. That night, Michael stayed up late talking with Jennifer about the future, about raising the baby together, where they'd live, how they'd rebuild their life as a couple. Michael, are you sure you want this? A baby coming in just a few weeks, all that responsibility? Jennifer, I've never been more sure of anything in my life. What about your parents? What will they think? My parents always liked you. They were upset when they heard about the divorce. They'll be happy to know we're back together. Even with the baby. Especially with the baby. They've always wanted to be grandparents. Michael, what if I'm a bad mother? You won't be a bad mother. You'll be amazing. How can you be so sure? Because I see how dedicated you are to everything you do, how much you care about people. This child will be so lucky to have you as their mother, and you as their father, if they accept me as their father. Michael, you'll be the only father they'll ever know. Of course they'll accept you. Michael felt tears welling in his eyes. Thank you for giving me this opportunity, Jennifer. Thank you for wanting it. 2 weeks later, Jennifer went into labor. Michael took her to the hospital, as nervous as if he were the one giving birth. Michael, will you stay with me? Jennifer asked when they arrived at the maternity ward. Of course. I won't leave your side. The labor lasted 12 hours. Michael held Jennifer's hand through every contraction, wiped her sweat, whispered words of encouragement. You're doing so well, he kept saying. Almost there. Michael, I'm scared. Scared of what? That I can't do it. That something will go wrong. Nothing will go wrong. You're strong. The baby's strong. Michael, yes? If something happens to me, take care of them. Jennifer, nothing will happen to you. But if it does, nothing will. But if it did, of course I'd take care of them. Like they were my own. Thank you. When the baby finally arrived, Michael was still holding Jennifer's hand. It was a girl, small but healthy, with her mother's dark hair. It's a girl, the doctor announced. And she's perfect. Jennifer burst into tears of relief and joy. Michael was crying too, more emotional than he'd ever been in his life. She's beautiful, he whispered. She is, Jennifer agreed, cradling the baby in her arms. What should we name her? Emily. I've always wanted a daughter named Emily. Emily, Michael repeated. It's perfect. The doctor approached. Congratulations, everyone. Mother and baby are doing great. Thank you, doctor, Michael said. When they were alone in the room, Jennifer looked at Michael. Michael, do you want to hold her? Can I? Of course. Michael took Emily in his arms and felt an emotion he had never experienced before. It was instant, complete, unconditional love. Hi, Emily, he whispered. I'm Michael. I'll take care of you and your mom forever. The baby opened her little eyes and looked at him, as if listening and understanding everything. I think she likes you, Jennifer smiled. I hope so, because I already love her as if she were my own daughter. Michael. Yes? Thank you for everything, for helping me, for forgiving me, for accepting her. Thank you for giving me a second chance, for letting me be part of your lives. Michael, are you sure this is what you want? A ready-made family, all the responsibility. Jennifer, look at this child, Michael said, gazing at Emily, who slept peacefully in his arms. How could I not want this? And us? What will we be? We'll be a family, maybe not traditional, but a family. Michael, I'm still scared. Scared of what? That you'll regret it. That you'll decide it's too much for you. Jennifer. Michael sat on the edge of the bed, still holding Emily. I lost you once because I was selfish and stupid. Do you think I'd let that happen again? I don't know, people change. I have changed, for the better. And part of that change was realizing family isn't just blood. It's love, it's care, it's being there. Michael. And I want to be there for you both. Every day. Forever. Jennifer began to cry again. Michael, I love you. I love you too, and I love our daughter. Our daughter. If you'll let me call her that. Of course I will. Michael leaned in and kissed Jennifer softly. Thank you for giving me a second chance at happiness. Thank you for showing me I can still trust. Always. You can always trust me. 3 months after Emily's birth, Michael and Jennifer remarried. It was a simple ceremony in a small church with only family and a few close friends. Emily was in Jennifer's arms during the ceremony, dressed in a tiny white dress. Michael had insisted she be included because she was part of the family they were building. Michael, the priest asked, do you take Jennifer to be your wife, to love and cherish in joy and sorrow, in sickness and in health, all the days of your life? I do, Michael answered, looking into Jennifer's eyes. And do you also accept being a father to Emily, to care for her, protect her, and love her as your own daughter? I do, Michael said, his voice thick with emotion. Jennifer, do you take Michael to be your husband, to love and cherish in joy and sorrow, in sickness and in health, all the days of your life? I do, Jennifer replied, equally moved. And do you accept Michael as Emily's father, entrusting him with her care and love? I do. After the ceremony, during the reception, Michael gave a speech. Everyone, I want to thank you all for being here today, and I want to publicly apologize to Jennifer because I know I hurt her deeply in the past. Jennifer tried to interrupt, but he continued, I was an idiot. I left the woman I loved for selfish, stupid reasons, and I almost lost the chance to have the family I always wanted. Michael, Jennifer whispered, but Jennifer gave me a second chance. And not just that, she gave me a daughter. Emily may not share my blood, but she has my heart. Completely. The guests applauded. Many moved to tears. So I want to make a promise here in front of all of you. I will love and care for Jennifer and Emily every day of my life. I will never abandon them again. I will never let them down. Michael turned to Jennifer. Thank you for forgiving me. Thank you for giving me a second chance, and thank you for giving me a family. Jennifer was crying, but they were tears of happiness. I also have something to say, she said, standing up. Jennifer, you don't have to. Yes, I do, she wiped her tears. Michael, when you left me, I thought my life was over. I thought I'd never be happy again. Jennifer, but today I realize maybe we needed to go through all that to get where we are now. Maybe we needed to grow, mature, learn to appreciate what we have. Jennifer. Michael, you're not just my husband. You're Emily's father. The man who was there when she was born, who loved her from the first moment, who chose her as his daughter. Michael was crying now too. And I promise I'll never doubt your love again. I'll never be afraid to trust you. Thank you, Michael whispered. Thank you for choosing us, for loving us. They kissed and the guests applauded again. Emily, who was in her grandmother's arms, started laughing, as if she understood it was a special moment. A year later, Michael officially adopted Emily. The day they left the courthouse with the signed papers, Michael was radiant. Now it's official, he told Jennifer. She's my daughter in every way. She's always been your daughter, Jennifer replied. The papers just confirmed what was already true. Jennifer? Yes? Would you be open to having more kids? Our own biological ones? Jennifer smiled. Michael, I'd have as many kids as you'd want. Emily needs siblings. How many? 2 or 3. A big family. A happy family. Michael kissed Jennifer and then kissed Emily, who was playing on the living room floor. Hi, sweetheart, he said to the baby. Why, Daddy loves you so much, and Mommy does too. And soon you'll have little brothers and sisters to play with. Emily smiled and reached her tiny arms toward him. Michael picked her up and tossed her gently, making her laugh. Michael, be careful. Jennifer laughed too. Relax. I'd never let anything happen to our girls. Our girls? Emily and all the others to come. Michael. Jennifer, you've made me the happiest man in the world. You've made me the happiest woman in the world. We've made each other happy. That's true. Michael looked at the family he'd almost lost because of his own foolishness. Jennifer, beautiful and radiant. Emily, growing up healthy and happy. It was everything he'd ever wanted, and he'd nearly thrown it all away. Jennifer. Yes? I love you. I always will. I love you too. Forever. And Emily? Emily has 2 parents who love her more than anything in the world. No. Emily has a family who loves her more than anything in the world. Jennifer nodded, smiling. They'd been through so much pain, so much separation, so much heartache, but in the end, they'd found an even stronger love, an even closer family. Because sometimes you have to lose everything to discover what truly matters. And Michael had discovered that what truly mattered was love, family, and the chance to be a better person every day. 5 years later, Michael and Jennifer had 3 children, Emily, now 6, and the twins, Jacob and Olivia, 2. They lived in a big but cozy house with a backyard where the kids could play. Emily didn't know Michael wasn't her biological father. To her, he'd always been Daddy, and she loved him with all the intensity of a child. Michael took her to school, helped with homework, told bedtime stories. Daddy, Emily said one morning as Michael helped her get ready for school, why am I different from the twins? What do you mean, sweetheart? Jacob and Olivia look like you and Mommy. I don't look like you. Michael's heart raced. It was a question he and Jennifer knew would come one day. Emily, come here. He crouched down to her level. Do you want to know something? I do. It doesn't matter who you look like. What matters is how much I love you. But are you my real dad? Michael looked at Jennifer, who was standing by the bedroom door, listening to the conversation. Emily, I'm your dad in every way that counts. I take care of you, protect you, and love you more than anything in the world. That makes me your dad. But, Emily, Jennifer stepped closer. Daddy chose to be your dad. That's even more special than just being a dad by chance. What do you mean? Well, Daddy and I met, fell in love, and then you were born. And when Daddy saw you, he decided he wanted to be your dad forever. He chose you. He chose me? He did, Michael confirmed. And it was the best choice I've ever made in my life. Emily was thoughtful for a moment. Daddy, will you always be my dad? Always, sweetheart. Always. Even when I grow up? Even when you grow up, get married, have kids, I'll always be your dad. Emily smiled and hugged Michael. I love you, Daddy. I love you too, Emily, more than all the stars in the sky. That night, after the kids had gone to bed, Michael and Jennifer talked about their earlier conversation. I think she understood it well, Jennifer said. I hope so. I don't want her to feel different from her siblings. Michael, she isn't different. She's our daughter just as much as Jacob and Olivia are. I know, but sometimes I worry that in the future she might question. Michael, stop worrying. Emily knows she's loved. That's what matters. Jennifer? Yes? Thank you. For what? For giving me the chance to be her dad. For giving me a family. Michael, stop thanking me. You earned this family. You fought for it. I almost lost everything by being foolish. But you didn't. And now we're happier than ever. That's true. Michael looked out the bedroom window, seeing the backyard where the kids had played earlier. Toys scattered, a dollhouse, a small bicycle. It was the life he'd always dreamed of, but had nearly thrown away. Jennifer? Are you happy? Very happy. And you? I'm the happiest man in the world. Really? Really? I have everything I've ever wanted. You, the kids, a family. Michael, sometimes I think about what would have happened if you hadn't found me at that restaurant. Don't think about that. But I do. Where would we be today? Jennifer, it doesn't matter where we'd be. What matters is where we are. That's true. And we're here together with our kids, happy. Forever? Forever. Michael kissed Jennifer softly, listening to the sound of the children's peaceful breathing in the next room. Everything was perfect. Not in the sense that there were no problems or hardships, but in the sense that there was enough love to overcome anything. He had learned that family isn't just about blood. It's about choice. It's about commitment. It's about unconditional love. And he had chosen Jennifer, he had chosen Emily, he had chosen to be a better person. And that choice had changed his life. Forever. End of story. Now tell me, what did you think of this heartwarming story? Do you believe Michael proved he had changed? And Jennifer, do you think she made the right decision giving him a second chance? Share your honest thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear what you think about second chances in love. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss more stories that will touch your heart.